Hey guys, it's your boy M.K.S here, back again with a video. We've had quite a storm. I don't know how long it's going to last, but it seemed to have gone away and then came back, so it's had strange storms. But I was saying my prayers, I was in the shower, and I'm also got, I don't know if I should say this, but another mad thing about me, and another one of my spineless or cowardly things, if I'm honest, sort of kind of or chickenly sort of things, is that I'm scared of the dark. So I was fearful that it was going to be a power cut, and I was going to be in the shower in the dark or whatever, which thank God it didn't happen. But anyway, this Anglo-Indians, sorry, A.I.s stands for Anglo-Indians. I know I've talked about that before. So this video, it's going to be one of them, as one of my 3-part videos where I talk about, in this case, what I hope for Anglo-Indians to stand for or support. So yeah, hopefully people out there will enjoy it, especially my fellow Anglo-Indians. I'd love to hear what people think. And if anyone is not an Anglo-Indian, comments are also welcome. And what you think of Anglo-Indians, if you know any, would be more than welcome. Hopefully they'll be positive. Anyway, as ever, all comments welcome. So here goes. Number 1, I would love Anglo-Indians to stand for or support Eurasian nations, nations between Europe and Asia. This is quite a biased thing because we are from a Eurasian background, so it's sort of symbolic. Like countries that, as I put it, straddle 2 continents or in between 2 continents. So countries like nations like Turkey. Not sure what if Russia is one, Armenia possibly. I'd love to unite them together somehow. I don't know how to do that because of Turkey and Armenia's problems. But if Armenia is Eurasian, I'd love to have a list. If you know any lists of Eurasian nations, please list them below. And I mean, I tried to look on Wikipedia, online, on Google, but it's hard to find what is clearly defined as Eurasian. But as I say, Eurasian nations, I love for Anglo-Indians to support them in a sort of biased way because we are kind of Eurasian. And I've often been told I look Turkish as well as Italian or whatever. I've talked before about how people said I look Italian. Turkish is another one. A lot of people think I look Turkish. So yeah, like Turkey is one big one, and lots of countries that are like Eurasian nations. Number 2, transcontinental countries generally class Eurasian and transcontinental. Eurasian nations I do class as transcontinental as well, being part of transcontinental countries. But I class them as sort of separate groups because I specifically hope to support Eurasian nations a little bit more than the other transcontinental countries are, and I hope to encourage my fellow Eurasians to support other Eurasian nations a little bit more than the other transcontinental countries. I think Egypt is a transcontinental country as well, as I've talked about before. But like Blasians, for instance, part Black and part Asian, could support Egypt symbolically a bit more because they're part in Europe, part in Africa, and part in Asia, apparently. And they're the only country between Africa and Asia, between Africa and Asia. So anyway, other mixed groups can support groups that are more like symbolic of their background, perhaps, if they wanted to, of course. This is all obviously through choice. I wouldn't want this to be forced. But yeah, so transcontinental countries, specifically Eurasian ones, which have classed as 2 separate groups. Yeah, they are. Eurasians are part of Eurasian nations are part of transcontinental. But like I think mixed race people support in transcontinental countries generally because symbolically, like they're part of, just like our ancestry, which comes from different continents, they're part in different continents. So if that makes sense. Again, I'd love to know what you think about each of these points. Number 3, what I just said a minute or so ago about people having free choice brings me nicely on to, I was going to say actually before I moved on to another point, brings me on to point 3, which is I'd love us to stand for liberty, libertarianism, be libertarians, fiscally conservative, not involved in other people's lives, let people live and let live. That's my philosophy. I know I've got a hoarding problem, but like to me, even if I didn't, I'd like to think if my neighbour had things in their back garden, I'd just say that's as long as it's legal, they're not abusing anyone or hurting anyone. Even if it looked a mess, they had rusty things. A lot of people complain, which is fair enough, but about people having those sorts of things in their garden or looking a mess, to me, like I'm a great believer in live and let live. So I'm a libertarian. Liberty is what I stand for. People choosing whatever they want to do as long as they obey the law. I don't go after people I don't go against people who don't pay taxes or don't pay certain taxes. That's up to the government. I don't really want to infringe on other people's lives. So it's about being a door weller, whatever. It's about being unemployed for so long, but that's one reason why I want to make me a YouTube channel, so that I have made me a YouTube channel. I hope to monetize it so that I don't rely on other people in terms of force. Anyway, if people want to support them, that's up to them. But again, libertarianism, human rights, people having choices, people having freedoms, freedom of religion, freedom of choice in any possible way, lower taxes, cutting waste, possibly having independent bodies that cut waste. Again, not trying to interfere in other people's way of life, live and let live, and that sort of thing. And also, I nearly forgot. I always keep forgetting things, so hopefully I won't forget too many things I want to say, because I was thinking about these ideas before I was in the shower, and then in the shower with shower thoughts. But yeah, number 3, also Mid-Eastern nations, Mid-Eastern countries. I think we look Mid-Eastern, so that's another biased one. These 3 are kind of biased in a way in terms of the nations or groups like Eurasian, transcontinental, Mid-Eastern, and that sort of thing. And number 4, again, I hope I didn't forget any points. Libertarianism, fiscally conservative, not infringing other people's freedoms, letting other people choose how they want to live and let live as long as you obey the law. I'll let the government deal with that sort of stuff. Anyway, number 4, again, human rights, not trying to force people against their will to do things they don't want to do, and also like legal and ethical, LE as I call it, which is, I find quite strange, because I find it not strange. I find it, well, a lot of things I do are strange, but it's a funny coincidence, or an irony, if you like, in other words, which is not my full postcode. I won't give that away, but the local area postcode, LE for Leicester, or Leicestershire, certainly Leicester anyway. So it's legal and ethical, an acronym for legal and ethical, which I find interesting. But yeah, so I want us to be legal, ethical, not use violence without self-defense, not join, in my opinion, not join the military or gangs or use violence or terrorism or anything that's illegal or anything that's violent, unless we're in self-defense or defense of the vulnerable. Perhaps we can keep ourselves strong and fit to protect people who are vulnerable. So if we see people bullying people, try and stick up for people, try and encourage people to be peaceful, basically be peace-loving, pacifists, conscientious objectors. If we're going to be brave, what I talked about in my previous videos about military and all that, militarism, pacifism, conscientious objection, all that kind of stuff, but we are going to join the Indian military, for instance, like protect the borders, or even in the UK or America or Europe or anywhere else. Should let myself catch a breath, but I don't want the video to be too long, so that's why I'm speaking so fast. But anyway, to protect borders, but we shouldn't invade other countries or join the military or things like that, or gangs or terrorism or hooliganism or anything that's illegal. And also, I was supposed to support Mediterranean countries, Mediterranean nations, for what I talked about in the first 3 parts. So that's another group, what I call another 4, group of 4, which I talk about supporting the 4, like Africa, indigenous people from Africa, Australasia, like Aborigines, Maoris, indigenous or Native Americans, and people from Asia, especially Asia. So those 4 as well. So the first 4 I talked about in that 4 group as well, which I often talk about, and I'm sure there are other groups of 4 which support, like Malaysia, India, Indonesia, and Singapore. And I wish for Asia generally anyway, but those 4 as well. But yes, pacifism, conscientious objection, obeying the law, not using violence, only using violence in self-defense, being peace-loving, and that sort of thing. Number 5, I hope for us to support India and work together on our goals as well, and possibly have monuments in India which celebrate Anglo-Indianism. I forgot to mention actually in the intro, or one perhaps I mentioned how Anglo-Indians were apparently like sort of created in a way to divide India up, apparently. Some people say that there's different arguments, like some say it was just soldiers who were abroad and they had no British women there, so they married, procreated with Indian women, but apparently they were even given money to procreate with Indian women, if you know what I mean. So that's how the Anglo-Indians were created. So I love the irony of it was created to divide India, but yet if we were the group that united India and worked together against imperialism, which I hope to come to, being anti-imperialism, colonialism, empire, supremacy, and that kind of thing. Number 6, I hope for us to work to the best of our ability, work smart, hard, whatever it takes to achieve great success in terms of helping other people, supporting other people, not necessarily just making money for ourselves, but for other people as well, especially our own community and other mixed race groups, but especially Anglo-Indians in India, again, which I hope to come to, and possibly building our own businesses, but not being lazy or things like that, or being well. I mean, people might say I'm lazy, but I like to work smart instead of hard, but some people might say you need to work hard as well, but to work towards things and try to not be on benefits, we can help it, not break the law or make money illegally, but try and make money through legal activities, try and, if we can help it, not be on benefits. He says, talking about himself in the third person. Number 7, there's a different one, another one of my mad ones. There's a saying like at 6s and 7s, and I'm stuck at 6s and 7s with this one. As my dad says, I'm mad as a box of frogs, as in harmless but mad, I think. Anyway, I didn't know what that saying meant until me, but sorry, I'm waffling away. So, but I love us to be Christians, but if I can make a deal with my maker, with God. It would be to allow us to be in a certain industry as long as it was legal. So that's a dilemma. That's a difficult one. But I did want to do this video on Monday. It's technically midnight here in the UK, so I'm just according to my mobile 1 minute away. So I'm kind of technically on Tuesday because I wanted to Monday because like it's a mixed race group Anglo News, but anyway, never mind. I'm a bit behind time, so I'm dyslexic. I need extra time, as I say. But yeah, so and also I'd love us to work on human rights, rights for religion, support persecuted Christians around the world, support Anglo-Indians, spirituality and religion, and what we think is ethical, what we think is right, again, legal and ethical, possibly obeying as much of the Bible as we can, and that sort of thing. That's where like obeying the law, not changing our gender, dare I say, don't offend anyone, but not changing our gender or changing our skin or changing anything about us, except for maybe shaving, having haircuts. I know I don't need a haircut and I don't really shave that much. But yeah, other than grooming, like cutting my nails or cleaning our ears or shaving, I don't think we should change the way God made us as well. So that sort of thing. To me, that's sort of playing God like surgeons or things like that. So I don't think we should get plastic surgery or gender realignment or change our gender, change the way that God made us. So, I mean, I know I want to be in a certain industry, so that's kind of contradictory, but I'm just trying to be as honest as possible. Anyway, moving on, because goodness me, I really struggle to keep these videos down and short, especially when I want to cover all these points. Number 8, working together for positive things: peace, love, positivity, hope, optimism, human rights, loving each other, sympathy, empathy, compassion, caring, sharing, and so on and so forth, and not hate, love, not hate, and things like that. Hope, not hate, and working together against white supremacy, neo-Nazis, the far right, whatever you want to call them, people who hate people of different colours or races or religions or backgrounds, also working together against Islamic extremism and all other forms of hate or extremism. Number 9, I hope to work together for Anglo-Indians to work together, stand again, Anglo-Indians United for recycling, make the best use of things, looking how we can make use of things and not waste things, how we can use certain paper to make people rip it or turn it, tear it or burn it or whatever else. I think we should look at ways we can use that paper, use resources, use things and make use of them rather than throwing them away, or as I would see them, as wasting them. That's a difficult one because some people might say certain things need to be thrown away, and there's also you don't want to hoard things like I do, so it is a difficult one, and that's why I hoard, because I don't like to waste stuff. But yeah, so making the best use of things and things like that, recycling, planning together, supporting each other's projects, supporting India, supporting Asia generally, and all these sorts of groups to talk about, and planning together, as I say, supporting Anglo-Indians in India especially, and other groups in India, Dalits and other disadvantaged groups, and supporting the oppressed and disadvantaged people, poor people, and so on and so forth. Because of my superstition, I'm probably going to try and make this video now because I've made it so long anyway. Please forgive me, but I'm going to probably make it 14 minutes because I don't want to be at 13. So anyway, but yeah, so planning, prioritizing, working together, advising each other, supporting each other, listening to each other's ideas, but it doesn't mean like forcing our ideas onto other people, but offering suggestions without force, for especially our fellow Anglo-Indians and other mixed race groups around the world, and supporting India especially. Again, what I talked about, like Anglo-Indians were made, as far as I'm aware, to divide India. So I'd love it if we united India and India looked after us. So I hope to reward them, which I hope to come to. Maybe if I don't finish all my ideas on this video, I might even have some for next week or whatever available Monday. So I say mixed race Monday, or even might mix up a bit and do it on Friday, but generally because it's a mixed race group. Anywho, and number 10, I'm going to crack on with it. I'm going to wrap this video up as quick as I can now. Supporting young people, disabled people, disadvantaged people. I forgot to mention about Italian football, which I was going to mention a few times. Italian football youth development, but especially young people around the world, protecting young people, children, animals, caring for people, sympathy, empathy, and all that kind of stuff. Sorry if it was too long. Anyway, I was going to say a few other things I forgot, so but I'm going to move on. Hopefully I'll cover them in part 2 or part 3 or another week. Thanks for watching my video. If you made it this far, I appreciate it so much. Thanks for putting up with me, and please give some likes and shares of the video. Thanks, especially with Anglo-Indians.